you finish high school, nobody wants to go to college and study some bullshit. So I was like, bro, I got to figure out some way to make money online. And I realized that if I can make like $400 or $500 a week trading, I can leave my job. If you're going to do something, just make it need your mind, and you can click a couple of keys, the internet's going to take over. I used to be an extremely big fan of the NELK Boys, and Steve will do it. As time goes, I started getting more wealthier. I started getting put into the room more because of how transparent I am and how real I am. I've done something that actually nobody's ever done. I actually turned $100 to $360,000.
In the space of how long?
About 2.5 months.
2.5 months?
Everything's documented on YouTube. There's a whole series on it, like of me entering the trade, during the trade, after the trade. At the end of the day, I always tell people, I'm like, let's show the account. You want to see one of my accounts right now?
So like, show me the money.
You can check if it's real. So I buy all my cars cash. The Urus, 300K cash, Lambo cash, Porsche. Like I have like $3 million in cars just cash. Like I actually got money. I got this money through trading. I know exactly what I'm doing. People get into trading because they want to live like me. I am out of the trading space in the next year and a half.
Really?
I am onto so much bigger
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CEOCAST, the #1 podcast for showcasing business entrepreneurship. Special guest today, all the way from the United States of America, from Miami, Alex Gonzalez.
What's going on, bro? Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you for hosting us in Dubai. It's going to be sick to have you on, bro. So I've come across you from other trader friends of mine, see you online, see your car collection, which fascinates me a lot, which we're going to talk about shortly as well.
Sure. But
for people who are into forex, into trading, why is it that when they listen to this podcast right now that they should listen to you? What is the value you're going to provide them with?
Well, I think that pretty much my journey can connect with a lot of people. So I don't come from money. I come from a very like average family. Like I was never poor, but I was never like rich. Like my parents were very average. Was working at Dunkin Donuts, kind of saved up some money, and I kind of figured out how to pretty much watch a shit ton of YouTube videos, kind of like these.
Yeah.
And I kind of like pieced together a strategy, and pretty much just putting in the time every single day, I kind of created an edge over the market. And it was a very slow grind at the beginning. Probably like first 2-3 years, I was about, losing, then break even. And around like 2.5 on the third years where really everything kind of shifted for me. So it was like actually like a really, really slow grind.
So how long have you been doing it for now?
About 6 years.
6 years. And how old are you?
23.
Oh, damn. So you started when you were about 17 years old?
Yeah, like it was kind of like when I was turning 18. So
Yeah.
I turned 24 in about a week.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like finishing high school already. And when you finish high school, nobody wants to go to college and study some bullshit. So
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I got to figure out some way to make money online.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I got into it.
Firstly, we're going to celebrate your birthday when it's coming up next week. So
Okay.
we're both going to be here, so that's going to be lit.
Dope.
But secondly, it's really interesting because what's the legal age for you to start working in America?
I started working when I was 16.
Okay. So that's straight in Dunkin Donuts.
I was working actually so there's this thing called like a fair.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much where you go. It's like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Right? Do you guys have that?
Theme parks, yeah.
Yeah,
That's also, yeah.
Exactly. So the parking lot was really, really far from the theme box or the music park. So there was a bicycle that would pretty much carry people to the park and back and forth.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing pretty much as soon as I turned 16.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a real W-2 job or whatever. They just pay you on cash. But that was my first job that I actually got.
Oh, sweet as, bro, sweet as. So what made you want to become an entrepreneur? What was it for you that ticked it over the edge to say, you know what, I'm done with this. I need to make more money.
So, I mean, you see like the crazy lifestyle on social media.
Yeah.
And obviously, regular job's not going to cut it. So I try to figure out ways how to make money online. At the time, Amazon dropshipping was really famous, and crypto was kind of getting started. But Amazon dropshipping, you kind of needed a credit card with a good amount of money so you can buy all this different type of merchandise. Or that's what I learned at that time. In order to make money, I didn't have a credit card with $10,000, $20,000 limits. And then crypto, I just really didn't get it. So I went into stocks to actually start learning how to trade. And as I'm getting involved in stock trading, learning how the whole market works, when does it open, when does it close, when I'm about to deposit money, the minimum was $25,000 into the broker that I was looking to deposit into. And I was like, oh shit, I don't have $25,000. And that's where kind of like IML was the whole, guru part of that moment. And that's where you can pretty much start with like a little bit of money. And I realized that if I can make like $400 or $500 a week trading, I can leave my job. So like my goal wasn't to really like, live super crazy. Like I wanted the cool stuff, but it first started off as just wanting to like leave the job just so I can make money from trading.
I'm going to throw it back for just a moment, right, and bring it to myself just to give you some sort of context. So when I started this podcast, I was wanting to speak to business owners in all different industries so I can find out what business I want to go into. Now, you mentioned there Amazon, stocks. You were mentioning pretty much digital business spaces, right? Why was it that you wanted to go into that side of business and research into those businesses as opposed to wanting to, like I said, I know you're into your cars, as opposed to starting a car dealership or something physical? Why was it specifically those industries?
Great question. So my dad actually, he owns a mechanical dental shop. So pretty much, you know how like when old people, like their teeth fall out,
Yeah.
like they got like those thick ones that they pop in.
Okay, yeah.
So my dad has that, right? My dad has that business, and it's a very hands-on business. And it's literally, if you don't have, like, so my dad, when we would go skiing and stuff, like he couldn't go skiing because he's gonna break a hand, breaks a hand, he can't like work, you know, he can't make the business run. So he always told me, he's like, if you're gonna do something, just don't make it need your hands. Like just make it need your mind, and you know, you can click a couple of keys, the internet's gonna take over. So that's kind of where I wanted to. I didn't want to go like super traditional business route because I would see him like always having to like put in like the work himself. Versus digital, you can kind of just like move things around, click a couple buttons, and then kind of pretty much make money that way.
Yeah, sweet as. Well, now we understand what industry, and let's throw it all the way back to the beginning, bro. Let's talk about your upbringing. Like you said to me off camera, born and raised in Miami.
Yeah.
But Cuban heritage. So if we had to talk about Alex as a young kid, what would you like?
It was very normal coming. You know, my dad came to the United States in a raft. So he actually left Cuba in like the 80s, probably at sea for like 6-7 days.
Yeah.
Then, you know, he made it to the States, met my mom there. And my parents never struggled. I mean, obviously at the beginning when you get there, you're an immigrant, you struggle. But then after that, they both got jobs, both, you know, saved up, bought a house. Just very normal lifestyle. You know, went to middle school, high school, made some bad decisions, you know, being around the wrong people, like smoking weed, got arrested. Just, you know, wanted to be cool and like fit in and stuff.
What did you get arrested for?
So, well, I've gotten arrested like 2-3 times actually. So the first time I was with some guys smoking weed, and we had a lot of weed.
Yeah.
So I got arrested for that. And the second, I got arrested recently. I streaked the Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw that.
What's that?
The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what Super Bowl is. What did you do?
I streaked it.
What do you mean streaked it?
Like I ran on the field. And
You ran on the field?
Yeah.
During the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I went viral. I got like 100 million views, bro.
What Super Bowl was that?
Literally the one that happened at the beginning of this year.
Oh, so recently?
Yeah. I still have an open case because of this.
Why did you do that?
Because I was gambling with Steve O'Doit, Dana White, Aiden Ross, like all these guys in Vegas.
Yeah.
And some guy was like, yo, the Super Bowl's coming up. You guys should bet if somebody's going to streak. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you can bet on somebody that's going to streak? Like, how does that work? He's like, yeah. Like if somebody runs on the field and, you know, streaks the field, you make money, and it's plus 1,000.
And that's a legit bet that you could make.
That's what I heard at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, literally a bulb literally popped off of my head. I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going to go run. I'm going to run on the field and bet on myself. And then I was pretty much telling everybody in that room that I was going to do it. I told Dana, I told Steve, I told the NELK Boys, I told Aiden. And I got to the point where I told so many big names that I kind of got like deep into like the shit myself. And I was like, bro, I got to fucking do it. So
You have to follow through now.
Yeah. I wasn't going to do it originally. But then the day after, I was gambling, and then Steve comes up to me. He's like, yo, Dana's really excited to see you streak. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like that, like he actually thought I was serious. And at that point, I bought the tickets, went to the game, and I just did it. I just did it to literally follow up with my word, honestly.
So it wasn't about making money for you. It was just like, you got to do what you said.
No, bro, I lost 50 grand on that whole thing. The tickets were 50 grand.
Yeah, fuck it all.
Yeah, just to like get close enough seats so I can jump the fence and be able to run.
So pretty much like almost like a wild guy. You been like that throughout your whole life? Or?
Yeah, I'll do anything, bro. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
No, fair play, bro. We're going to come into networking in a second because you just said you were in the room with Dana White, Steve O'Doit, NELK Boys, etc. I didn't actually know that about you as well, to be fair.
They're all my boys, bro, all of them.
Yeah, fair enough. So then, where did we go from there? So, you know, as you're in high school, you get into a bit of trouble here and there, trying to find yourself. Where from there?
Yeah, so, you know, in high school, just kind of being like, you know, dumb. Like, you know, you're young, kind of just do whatever you want, basically, to be cool and fit in. So after that, I pretty much graduated high school, and then I actually went to college for like 2-3 months. You know, it was like the automatic process in the United States. Like high school pretty much automatically forces you to enroll to college.
Yeah, same with UK educational system. You graduate from what we call college, which is your. This is so confusing because your college is our university. Our college is the step before your college. If that makes sense.
So our high school is your college.
Basically, yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
So for anyone American listeners, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird.
But you done that. Sorry.
Yeah, so pretty much the college or the high school, they pretty much automatic enroll you into the next phase, which is uni or whatever. Went for 2 months, and I'll never forget. I was pretty much just going to class, just trying to like do the same thing I did in high school or college, which is copy all the homework and kind of pass that way. And the professor comes up to me, is like, look, just letting you know, if you were to pretty much ace every single test into the end of the semester, you would still fail. So you should like not even come back anymore. I'm like, thanks.
How does that make sense? If you pass if you ace every single test, why is it that you still?
Because I was already like 2 months into the semester and I hadn't completed any task.
Okay.
So I was at 0.
Yeah.
So he was like, there's only like 6 more exams.
Yeah.
Even if you ace them, you still won't have a good enough GPA to pass.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. Kind of just saved me about 2.5, 3 months. So the way it works in the States is there's pretty much a semester like every 6 months, and you pretty much enroll depending on what you're studying. And that's where I was like, you know what? Perfect. I got to figure some shit out. So I didn't tell my parents I left uni or college because,
just like me,
yeah, like there's no way. Cuban parents, immigrants in the United States, not happening. You got to do some shit. So I was still going to the campus, but I was just trying to figure out how to make money online at campus. So I was going to like the lunch area. I was going to the library, just places wherever I can get the internet, get on the computer. And it's kind of where I just started figuring out how to make money online and seeing how different people on social media are flexing this crazy lifestyle and try to just copy them, honestly.
Yeah. And you came across trading, essentially.
And I came across trading pretty much like 6 months into that journey. I'm trying to figure out how to make money online.
Okay, so for the whole time, what was your personal financial situation like?
Right, let's take a quick 30-second break from this podcast to tell you about today's sponsor. Now, if you're like me and constantly looking for ways to invest but still want to use your money on a daily basis, TrustXPay has you covered. TrustXPay is the offshore crypto card for high spenders, so you can spend without having any limit. And it's simple: load on your USDT or up to 30 different cryptocurrencies and spend them with a Visa Platinum card. And with AI monitoring crypto prices, TrustXPay ensures that you get the best rates for your transactions. And here's where I'm doing my bit and covering you guys. By signing up through CEOCAST, you'll get a dedicated accounts manager to help you manage your sign up. So if you click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen right now and use the code CEOCAST, you can get 10% off your joining fee and 50 USDT. Once again, use the link in the description, use code CEOCAST or scan the QR code on the screen right now so you can get 10% off your joining fee and 50 USDT. Now let's get straight back into this episode.
So I was doing okay. I probably had like $10,000 saved up. So I was living with my parents. I was probably making like $2,000-3,000 from Dunkin Donuts.
Oh, so all this was happening whilst you were still working as well?
Yeah. I had to have a job this whole entire time.
Yeah.
Just because for my own stuff. Like my parents could have helped me out, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I see my dad working hard. I don't want to ask him for anything. I gotta, get it on my own.
Do it for yourself, yeah.
So pretty much I was the whole entire time just trying to figure out like this new craft that I'm gonna pretty much learn and make it my everyday shit. So I was about 6 months trying to figure that out while I was still working the job and then still living at my parents' house.
Yeah. What makes you, I suppose, a different trader to everyone else? Because I know every single trader I've spoken to, from the likes of Umar Ashraf, I've spoken to a few, Dan Chung, as we mentioned, which I done last week. Everyone's kind of got their own unique strategies when it comes to trading. What's yours?
So I probably have, I think, the simplest strategy out of everybody because I simply do the least out of everybody. I probably take one trade a week max, or maybe one trade every 2 weeks.
If I had to guess, I'm not into trading, so I'm just going to make an assumption here. I'm assuming that one trade is one big trade, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm literally that guy that I'm gonna stand there at the, baseball.
Yeah.
So I'll stand there in home base, and you can throw 100 balls, but I won't swing until I get that right one. And every single time I swing, it's a home run. Every single time.
So you're basically waiting for the right trade, the right execution every single time for you to make sure it's on point.
Yeah. And I've done something that actually nobody's ever done. So I actually turned $100 to $360,000
In the space of how long?
about 2.5 months.
2.5 months?
Yeah, everything's documented on YouTube. There's a whole series on it. Like literally, I would do a weekly vlog of me entering the trade, during the trade, after the trade, the wins, the losses. Literally, the whole entire thing is documented.
But so as I said, I've spoken to a few traders, so I know stuff about risk analysis and all that sort of stuff. So the usual thing I hear all the time is, risking 1%.
Yeah.
So if you started with $100,
I'm not risking 1%.
I was gonna say, because that is gonna take a long, long time.
Yeah.
Did you risk that? All of it?
I was risking 100% every single trade.
That's very, very, very risky.
Oh yeah, but I just started with $100. So so pretty much I had like one of my biggest days. I think I made like 120,000, which was my biggest day at that time.
In one day.
And then I was almost like bored, and I was like, dude, I got to do something different, because I'd made a lot of money. Like in that period, I was like in a really, really hot streak. And like, dude, I just got to do something different, something that nobody's ever done. And then I'm like, you know what? I've never been able to grow an account. So this is a really interesting concept because a lot of traders out there, they're profitable, but they just don't know it. Because a lot of these traders, they try and do what I did. They try and turn $100 to 10,000 or turn 1,000 to 100,000. But a lot of traders can't do that successfully because they just don't know how to properly manage the risk. There's actually a way on how to do it. But a lot of traders are profitable and they continue to fail in that way of trading, because that's not the reality. Like what I did is not real. Turning $100 to 300K, that's not real. It took me like 4 tries to do it. I didn't get it on my first try. So a lot of traders that are profitable, they're profitable because they apply the 1%, 2%, which is how you should actually trade. Like, I never encourage anybody to do what I did. It's something that I did for myself to challenge it. And at the end, I ended up blowing the 300,000. So I took the 100 to 360,000, and then I blew it literally in 2 weeks.
From risking 100% of it.
Yeah. So I took the $100 to 360,000, and then I blew it in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Just to put it in perspective, that trade that you blew right there, that $360,000 at 100%, if that was to go your way and you was to win that trade, how much would that have returned you?
I would have taken me to the $1 million. If I would have won that next trade, I would have hit the mill.
In one trade?
Yeah, one trade.
Which is mental. Have you done that before? Anything like that?
My biggest trade today right now is $330,000, $340,000.
Yeah, this is mental.
Trading's crazy.
So yeah, this is a whole different game to whatever I've heard before, you know, all 1% strategy and all that sort of stuff. But you...
Well, no, I do that.
You do that. But I'm saying your strategy is different in terms of analyzing everything, and when you know that ball's going to strike and it's the perfect one.
Well, it depends on the account. So I have 2 accounts. So I have a high risk account, and then I have an account that I pretty much just stick to the same percentage every single time. So the one that I stick to the same percentage, it's 2% every single time, does not matter what. But then I have a high risk account, which I don't give a shit. Like I could risk 10% on one trade, I could risk 20. I really don't care, because it's like, I don't want to say like my degenerate account, but I really don't care for it, because pretty much I made a lot of money also like in crypto. So I invested into like one of these altcoins, made a shit ton of money. And I get that money and I'm like, you know what? Let me just grow it on how I actually know how to grow it, which is in trading. So pretty much on that account, I'll take the exact same trade that I do on my standard, but I just triple, quadruple the risk.
You see, in the UK, I'm going to say this, right? In the UK, there's a lot of this, you know, perspective from the people outside of the trading world that whenever they see a trader online or something, they automatically put the word scam to it.
I know, bro. I hate it, dude.
Is this the same in America?
It's literally the exact same thing in America.
And what's your stance towards that as well?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I always tell people, I'm like, let's show the account. Like, I can show you. You want to see one of my accounts right now? Like, I can show.
For sure. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Show me the money.
All right. So, look, I'm going to show you one of my trading accounts. You can check if it's real. You can check if it's everything. Just don't say, like, the name of the account. Like, so this is one of my accounts right here. Look. So you can flip. Okay, so then click the bottom right corner.
Settings?
Yeah, click settings. Does it say real? Does it say my name?
Yep.
So it says my name and it says real.
Yep.
So that's it. That's all you gotta do. And then look, click on the button to the left of the settings. Like click on the history.
Yep.
And then click on week. Let me see what popped up. Okay, how much did I make this week?
Oh, this is just 1 week.
Let me see it. Let me make sure.
At the bottom there.
Oh no, because I have to. No, yeah. That's the total deposit. Yeah, no, don't say that number.
I won't say that number.
Yeah.
But can I say it's a high number?
You can say it's a high number.
It's a good figure?
Yeah, you can say it's
You don't want your IRS to get in touch with you.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to know.
No, that's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, so to me, anybody that says, oh, you're not a real trader, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I literally do this every single time. I'd be like, then they literally just don't say it.
Just shut themselves.
They just shut themselves up.
Do you know that challenge that you just done there? You know, $100 to $360. Do you do them challenges because, like, here's my take on it, right? So I've tried trading. One of my friends taught me how to trade. So I can, probably not as great as any other trader. I can do the trading because I know the basics, but I can't bring myself to actually do it just because I'll get very bored at the screen.
Sure.
Now, me hearing you doing a challenge, is that because it's a very, very repetitive game in terms of you're sitting at a laptop, you know exactly what to do and all that sort of stuff. And any career path, you know, you repeat it so many times, it's going to get to a point where you think, you know, I do want to switch this up a little bit. And that's where a challenge could come into play. Is that your thought process, or is it just you just want to do it?
So it's more or less because I don't change nothing in specific when it comes to the strategy. So I'm taking the exact same trades. The only thing that's changing is how much I'm risking. So the main reason why I did the 100 to the mil challenge is simply because a lot of traders are making, you know, excuses on why they're not successful because they don't have money. And it got to the point where I'm like, you obviously need money to make money, but if you really have a really good skill set, you can make money with a little bit amount of money. And that's where I pretty much decided to do the challenge at that point, because I've never done it myself. And I'm like, you know what? I'm more experienced than when I used to do it, because that was something that I tried to do at the beginning of my journey, like the first 2 years, something beginner traders always try and do. Then I got access to a funded account and I pretty much scaled that way, like the 1%, 2%. And then when I now like 4.5, 5 years into my journey, I'm like, you know what? Let's actually try and give this shit a shot again. Because now I'm way more experienced. I really am confident in my strategy, and then I gave it a shot, and I'm gonna do it again.
I want to see it live in person and stuff like that. Like, that'd be sick.
I'm gonna actually start the 100 to the Mill challenge in about like 2-3 weeks again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to it. You said so. The first 2 years of your career in trading were almost like learning, and you were down in money, right? Now, after those 2 years, when did you just think to yourself, "I'm rich now"? Like, what was it? What point was that? And can you remember that feeling?
So this is actually a feeling that I felt like really recently, probably like in the last 6 months. Up to like this point, like in the last 6 months, I hadn't really felt it. So like I have the house, I have like 15 cars, I have like 10 watches, I have a lot of money sitting in the trading account, in the bank account. And I got to the point where I'm like, yo, I can literally not move a finger for the next 15 years and I'll live the exact same lifestyle. Because I've set myself up with a foundation so strong that I can literally stop trading, stop all the businesses, stop everything. And I can live the same lifestyle for the next 15 years. And that's where that shit hit me. I'm like, holy fuck, you know. But it hadn't hit me any, like I said before that point.
So how does a multimillionaire like yourself at 23 years old manage their money? Because as I said in the beginning, crazy car collection.
Yeah.
You know, crazy watch collection as well. So how do you manage your money?
So I have a very simple concept that I've been using for my whole entire life. And it's a 30-30-30-10 rule. So 100% of my income, I divide it in 4 ways. 30% goes to residual expenses, which is going to be, you know, team, rent, bills, insurance, food, just regular expenses, right? Yeah. Residual. So that's 30%. 30% you mandatory have to save. You always got to save money. So only save about 30% of that. And then 30% of that money. So it's 30% residual expenses, 30% you save. Then 30% I mandatory have to invest into some type of shit. Whether I invest it back into the brand, invest it into, you know, one of these altcoins, invest it into back to my trading account. Mandatory, I have to put money to grow again. Because if not, what's the point? And then 10% I'll just spend on myself.
Well, then talk to me then. What do you invest in? You know, as being a trader, every other trader I speak to as well says that, you know, they get the money from the trading and they diversify their wealth, right? So where do you invest your money?
Sure. So right now I have a sports betting company. So it's pretty much like, it's called fan funded. So it's like we pretty much just have a sports book, shit like that. I'm opening up a cigar brand right now. So like a literal full-blown cigar brand. We actually bought some land in Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. No, they're like, we're going for real. Like, we're going serious. Yeah. One of my close friends is actually, you know, like a really, really big guy there. And we're going to pretty much create our own cigar brand. And then I'm going to now invest into a fitness app. So somebody, like one of these big influencers, they have a lot of influence, but they don't have money. But they want their own app. I'm like, sure. How much is it? It's like 200,000. Okay, pretty much. Well, obviously for like the marketing campaigns to get all of like the models to go in and do all that stuff. All right, here's the money. I get a certain percent of equity. And then recently I've been looking to put money into real estate. I don't have as much as I wish I would have into real estate, simply because the whole economic situation right now in the US is very iffy because of, you know, who's going to win the election right now. So I really, really want to get into real estate in the States, but I just want to see who wins, which obviously, you know, I hope, you know, the man.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be soon, though. When's the election happening?
In November.
Okay, so it's, somewhat soon.
Yeah. But I haven't been doing it for the last 2 years or year and a half because of that same reason.
Yeah, so it's been affecting it. Yeah. But, you know, real estate, I mean, I'm not too sure about US, like I said, I've never been there. But in UK, it's the same sort of scenario where it is dependent on these factors, but it's one of those things that bricks and mortar can never go down. Well, it can go down, but I mean, it's always a safe bet in terms of everything else that you got there as well going on. And with regards to the fitness influencer as well, it's a win-win situation for everyone. Win-win situation for yourself, for the influencer, because they get the money, you get investment, building different companies and so on and so forth.
And there's no risk.
Yeah.
Like zero, like you sell a service, they don't like the service, they just cancel it and that's it. Like you're not selling something that's a problem. That's also a really big issue with the whole trading space. A lot of these influencers, they sell products, which ends up turning into be a problem. So I sell solutions to people's problems. I don't sell a temporary solution that then becomes a problem.
So what do you sell then? So you sell the solution. What do you mean by that exactly?
So let me see if I could give a simple. So some people will sell, let's say, like a signal service. So I don't do signals. Like I literally send my shit's free. Like you can go watch my Instagram stories every single day and like the trades are there for free. People will then sell signals. So then they'll sell a temporary solution to people thinking that if you give them a signal, you're going to solve the problem. But realistically, no trader is ever going to win 100% of the time. Like you just saw I lost out of like the 10 trades, I lost 2 of them. So when people sell these signals, it's great probably for like 1 or 2 weeks, but then the other 2 weeks when they're losing, then they look like shit because then this person blew their account or whatever.
Yep.
So you sold a temporary solution to the person, which then ends up becoming a problem because now this person doesn't like you.
And you've tarnished your name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like a lot of the people we see online in social media don't know a thing about trading or anything like that, giving out signals, saying join my Telegram, join this, join that, literally tarnishing the name.
Yeah.
But there's so much money in it for that person to be scamming everyone.
Yeah.
Pretty much like that.
Yeah.
So when you say you sell the solution, what is it exactly?
So, well, like I was setting the example of, for example, like the fitness app. So like, the fitness app is going to pretty much give you the whole entire way on how to work out, the meals you should be eating, how to cook them, your local grocery store, where you should go and get them. So I'm selling you like the whole package solution on how this person can get fit. Like there's no excuses. You have the trainer, the food, where you can get it, how you can cook it. The cigar, pretty much the only solution is just you're gonna chill. You know what I'm saying? Like you're pretty much just there chilling. And then when it comes to the sports betting, the solution that I'm setting is if you come in, you bet, you win, you get paid, you lose your money. Like it's a very simple.
But in regards to trading, do you not sell anything?
Oh yeah, the only thing I sell is like my strategy, like a whole entire course on pretty much how to trade.
Okay,
that's the only thing I sell when it comes to trading.
So I wanted to ask you this. I have a friend who is upon the opinion that everything in life should be free because you're providing value to other people.
Sure.
Which I agree to some extent, but at the end of the day, time is money,
Yeah.
especially if you're teaching strategy.
For sure.
So I wanted to ask your opinion on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the main reason why I do sell the product is because I have a weekly recurring call with the guys like 1 or 2 times a week. So that's just kind of annoying, you know, getting on a call with like 2,000-3,000 traders. I'm asking you a bunch of questions every single time. I don't want to do that shit, you know? So the only way I'm going to do it is if I get paid at least one time, because the offer is pretty much forever. So you're part of a private community. It's almost like you're funneling down the people that really want to trade. And that comes with a price at the end of the day. So if you get that fun and you get the good amount of people, then you can pretty much work with who you want to work with. So I do agree with that. Like if I have, you know, a lot of money in my trading account, why am I selling a product? And at the end of the day, it's just because if I have this crazy following, why not monetize that as well?
Do you have any like future plans with trading in terms of building a whole fund and, you know, having traders under you and stuff like that?
So I was thinking of like a trading floor.
Yeah.
And
so I'll give you an example. So one of my friends, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, his name's Shoaib Gori, based in the UK, right? He's got a trading floor in the UK and one in Dubai, and
I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know
maybe,
exactly.
I can't remember, somewhere in New York. I'll show you his Instagram in a second. But yeah, he went from, you know, pretty much being a trader to then opening up a trading floor. People come in, they buy his product in terms of teaching them how to trade. But then the people who notices that are very, very good traders, he basically brings them on to trade the money for the fund, for the firm basically. And he's been smashing it like that, you know. And I feel like in terms of trading, taking it to the next heights, that's probably like the next thing to do for trading and stuff.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of doing something just like that. But I've been kind of putting it to test on these weekly calls with the students every single Sunday, because it's called Sunday Swings. We pretty much set the markets for the week that we're going to be having ahead. And there's like lack of commitment from some people's end, maybe because it's virtual, so they feel like they don't have to pull up and they can just see the recording. But I have some really, really sharp guys that would be able to do the in-person thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, why do you have to come to the trading floor if you could just do it from the comfort of your home? And a lot of these guys aren't local. You know, I have people in Germany, I have people in New York. Like, why would they commute or, you know, pretty much change their location to Miami when it's the same thing they could do it from home? I was thinking of the whole trading floor thing for like content and stuff, but also I don't want to like have that responsibility of, you know, having an office space with like, you know, 10 guys there. It's like it's an added responsibility, but I have been really, really thinking about it. But if I were to ever do it, I would rather do the virtual route, because the best traders that I know as of right now, they're actually in the UK because they have the best trading time zones. So I don't know if you know that, but like when you guys wake up, you guys have like the beginning of London session. Yeah. And you guys can trade throughout the day.
See, one of my friends told me, you must have seen him, he's got a podcast called Words of Wisdom.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah. Very good friend of mine. And he was trying to explain to me this whole time zone stuff. And for me, that's just like barbaric. I don't understand the whole time zone situation and all that sort of stuff. But from what he said is that London is one of the best time zones. Yeah. Or he said Dubai as well, because you can still catch the London session.
Yeah, Dubai and London, it's just 2 hour difference.
Yeah.
It really wouldn't make a difference. But yeah, definitely London and Dubai would be like, or anything outside of the US, pretty much. Because for me to trade London session, I have to wake up at 2 in the morning, middle of the night, dug it out through the whole entire night, and then trade in the morning, which is just brutal.
So your whole routine, your whole work routine is literally like a vampire, scheduled upside down throughout the night.
I did that for like 2 years.
Yeah, mad.
I don't do that anymore.
That's mental. I want to come to your social media presence, right?
Sure.
Because did you start your social media journey whilst you were successful being a trader, or was it showing people from the very beginning and building your name up like that? I'm talking like almost like personal brand.
Yeah, so I would always just post like a normal guy. And then pretty much I went ghost for about those 2 year period where I was trying to figure out my journey. And you can actually go down to my Instagram and you can see like that 2 year period. Pretty much went ghost for about 2 years as I'm trying to figure out this journey and, just become successful. And I just started sharing my journey. I started posting, this young kid, traveling, getting these crazy cars and stuff. And it just went crazy out of nowhere. I also timed it kind of well because of like after COVID and stuff, people were still very active. So I became very successful like right after COVID, like ending of 2020, beginning of 2021. That's where everything kind of started taking off for me. And I started posting it. And I was kind of almost confused on how people were just finding my page or finding out who I was. And they're like, yo, post what you do. I started posting on the stories what I was doing. And then it just started getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. And it was actually helping people out. I'm like, oh, I'm onto something here. Like people were like, not only am I good, but like it's actually helping other people. And that's where I pretty much started just going crazy with it.
Yeah, sick, bro, sick. And your network as well. Because as you get wealthier, you tend to find yourself somehow getting into rooms that, have higher levels of wealth. What was your first experience of being in a room and thinking, okay, the people around me, these are serious people now. These are serious players in the game. Don't necessarily have to be from trading, but just in general.
Yeah, definitely the biggest people that I know have no idea what trading is. Like, I've been in rooms where, like, for example, like I used to be an extremely big fan of the NELK Boys and Steve would do it, like super fan, right? And as time goes, I started, getting more wealthier and I started getting put into the room more because of how transparent I am and, how real I am. Because, to get access to these guys, it's not that easy. Like, you got to be legit. Yeah. So as I started getting more successful, I started hosting poker games at my house. And pretty much everybody got the good word that I host, good games. And, one day his brother came to my house and played. I had no idea it was his brother.
Whose brother? Steve's brother.
Steve's brother.
Yeah.
And pretty much Steiny came as well. So, Steiny.
Yeah, from NELK Boys, yeah.
Yeah, Steiny pulled up. And, we're there playing poker, whatever. A couple more games go by. And then I get invited to, like, these private, like, parties and stuff with them. And, when you pull up to these events and you provide and, you pretty much carry your own weight, you're not a leech like everybody else, like in these groups that, people pull up to these parties and they just get, but they don't give. You kind of stand out a little bit. So I was pulling up to, these other successful people. I'm like, yo, I'm letting you know I'm not here to leech from you. I'm here to actually be just like you here. So I would bring pretty much my value as well. And that thing just snowballed so crazy because there's no real successful trader out there that kind of has a network that I have, because of the amount of money and time that I've invested into these relationships. And when I pretty much am getting FaceTime, I can call Steve right now. You know what I'm saying? Like when he became like a friend, that he's coming to my house, I'm going to his house, that's where it kind of hit me. I'm like, wow, how did I go from a fan to now this guy being like another one of the boys? That's where kind of it was very, very confusing for me. But now it's very, very normal getting access to pretty much whoever.
Yeah, that's the most powerful thing. There's the common saying of network is your net worth, yeah? And do you feel like, regards to trading and all that sort of stuff, you could still make wealth and be wealthier just from your phone book?
If I were to literally stop trading right now and stop social media, stop everything, and you just leave me with my phone, I will have a $10 million business in a year and a half because of the people that I just have on my phone.
Should we test it?
I mean, we could, but fuck, that'll suck to do it again. But I have an idea already that I was talking to the guys about it. It won't even require me. It's just like, this is the idea, you guys could run with it. And if they do it, they'll take it. Yeah, definitely the network is everything that you need to become successful.
I just want to throw it back because the thought just came to my head, right? At what point did you tell your parents that you had dropped out of college?
So they actually kind of found out because I shared my location with my parents because they kind of were skeptical that I was going. And it got to the point where one day I didn't go to school because I wanted to meet up with these other guys that were also getting involved in the same thing. And then my mom actually went to the school, asked, hey, is my son coming to school?
Where's Alex?
No, she knows the location, but like, has he been coming? Like, is he enrolled in the school? like, no, man, your son has not been enrolled for like a year. And that's where shit went crazy, you know, and my parents were not happy about that. But now they're obviously very, very happy.
Were you still in your learning phases at that time?
I was, yeah. So I was definitely not successful yet.
So what was that like, you know, because I'll give you my story of it, right? So when I had dropped out of college, university, I didn't tell my parents either. And I was still trying to navigate my way through life. They found out because the college sent a letter to my house saying, where's this person? We don't even know who he is or anything like that. This is a letter to say we're fully taking you out of the college.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, my mum killed me, basically, yeah?
Oh, shit.
It's a miracle that I'm alive today right now, right? I can't even remember where I was going with this point. Yeah. So how did your parents react to it, and how did they deal with it? And what was the belief system in? Because I'm sure you would have been telling them, you know, don't worry, parents, I'm working on this. I'm trying to do this. What was their whole belief and take on it?
So it's actually kind of funny because they just automatically thought I was a failure, because all my cousins in my family are doctors, nurses, police officers, some type of corporate job where they're guaranteed for life. Then I'm the black sheep, and I'm like the only one that hasn't done anything. My dad kind of like disowned me for, like, I'm recently getting good with my dad, like in the last year, but for like a very long time, I was not cool with him. Well, or he wasn't cool with me because he pretty much thought that he failed, you know? But my mom was supportive throughout the whole entire way. She knew that if I were to pretty much give 100% into something, something has to come out of it. You know, if you go to even if you're fat, you go to the gym every single day, like you're going to get fit. So she kind of had that idea, but she was just more being a supportive mother. But it was definitely my dad, the problem, because he did not believe in anything that I was doing, bro. And it was also very challenging for myself because not having your parents support you, and like my dad, I look up to my dad, not having him support me was very challenging because like, damn, like, am I making the right decision? Am I not? But I got past that hurdle, and now I'm at the point where like I lend him my cars and shit, and like he's happy now. So,
yeah. Oh, aside from your parents, was there any other disbelief from people outside, you know, not believing in your journey?
All the friends that I used to smoke with all the time, the guys that I used to skip school with, even the guys that I started the journey with to become a successful trader, none of those guys are around at all. And none of those guys believed in it becoming real at all. So you're going to lose friends throughout the way. You're going to lose people that you once thought that they were that person for you. You're going to lose the people that you trusted, but it's part of the process, because at the end of the day, the journey's lonely, and you're going to be in it by yourself, because only you are going to be able to know what you went through in order to get to the point where you are today. And you can't take everybody with you through that journey. It's, you know, I personally haven't met anybody that has a friend that has gone through it with them and they both became successful. Maybe, you know, one or two guys that I know, but yeah, I lost all of my friends. Like everybody that I know now, like my whole team, like we all met in the last 2-3 years. Nobody's from high school, nobody's from uni, college, nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. And I've experienced the same thing. And I think this is some of the common struggles that all entrepreneurs face, is that they can't bring everyone with them, right?
Yeah.
So as we're on the topic of struggles, what are some of the other struggles that you felt throughout your whole journey of entrepreneurship?
It was more of the, when is it coming? When is the success going to hit? So as you're trying to become a successful trader, you always want to know, am I profitable yet, right? So for example, when you go to college or you go to uni, you know when you graduate, you know when you're about to graduate, you know you're 2 weeks away, you know you're 1 day away, you know it's about to come. When it comes with trading, you have no idea when that shit's gonna come, or if it's even going to come, or if you're even in the process right now, or if what you're doing is the right thing to become successful. Like there's so many different angles that you don't know if what you're doing is right or when you're gonna become successful. And that was kind of the thing that drove me crazy, because I was like, all right, I've been doing this for 2 years. Am I closer? Have I advanced? Have I done anything to actually get better? And that's kind of like the main struggle that I had. It wasn't the actual craft to learn it. It was more of the like I had to like applaud myself. You get me? I had to cheer for myself. I had to be my number one fan when I thought that I was progressing. And as I'm cheering myself on, I'm like, well, am I cheering myself on because I did something right? Did I avoid to do something wrong? Like, am I supposed to be cheering myself? It's all these different type of questions that I had to ask myself. Am I doing it right or not? So it's like this master of having to figure shit out.
Yeah, do you know what, bro? I think that's a general common struggle within all entrepreneurs, because it's hard for someone who's solid on their journey, solid on their future, trying to really, really make it, to step out their own shoes and just look back in their life and give themselves a round of applause. Because if you don't do that, there's not really a determination of success, because we're always in the moment. And coming out of it is the biggest struggle that we can face.
I agree, 100%.
But I want to come to this now at the point of the podcast, you know, lifestyle. I've gone through your Instagram, I've gone through your YouTube videos. And a good friend of mine actually told me to ask you this question, Dan Chung, who we done a podcast with last week.
Sure.
He said he wants to know Alex's take on marketing, like your attack on marketing, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems like solid lifestyle in terms of, I've seen the Porsche GT3 RS, firstly, 10 out of 10 car.
Thank you.
I've seen, you've got Lambo as well, right?
Do I? Yeah, I have a Lambo.
Do I?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That many cars when the guy says, do I? You have two Lambos.
I have two Lambos, yeah.
Which ones?
I have a twin turbo Performante
Yep.
and a wide body Urus.
And a wide body Urus. So that's what I'm saying, like, this whole lifestyle thing. So what is your attack on marketing? Are you using these things as a form of marketing to get your name out there and show what you've got and the success? Or what's your take on it?
100%. Like, so
Straight up.
100%. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm at the point where I have a team of like 15, 20 guys that are just solely running the education. And I don't want that to come out of my trading account. Mm-hmm. So pretty much I use the lifestyle from the car, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? So I buy all my cars cash. So the Urus, I paid $300K cash, Lambo cash, Porsche. Like I have like $3 million in cars just cash. So I do get all of these cars to pretty much show people like, yo, I am not fake. Like I actually got money. I got this money through trading. Look at these withdrawals. I know exactly what I'm doing. This is all real. Now, if you want to learn from me, here it is. If you don't, cool. Like, I really don't give a shit. But it got to the point now where I'm using my name to leverage it for things that are so much bigger than the trading space. Like I am out of the trading space in the next year and a half.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Dude, I am onto so much bigger shit, like so much bigger stuff that this trading stuff does not even compare. So now I'm at the point where I'm using my name in the trading space to leverage these bigger things, but I cannot use my name to leverage it for these bigger things if I don't show that I'm legit. So I show every single angle that I can that I'm possibly legit. So then once that's clear, it's known like, all right, this guy is legit. All right, cool. Thank you guys. Wish you guys all luck. I'm onto this new journey, which is going to be 10 times bigger than trading on the social media. I will never stop trading myself, but it's going to get to the point where I'm going to be removed from the label as a trader. I'm going to be known as a very successful entrepreneur because of the businesses and the systems that I know how to create. But yeah, definitely the cars and all this stuff is 100% for marketing. Like you can go through my page and you can go through like other people's. I personally think I am like the number one marketer out there. Like I think I know how to strategically do everything very well. And it's all for a bigger purpose for sure.
How much harder do you think it would be to market yourself without the lifestyle luxuries such as the cars, the watches, the house?
It's impossible. Why would people get into trading because they want to live like me. If you're not living like me or somebody else like me, why would they want to follow you? So you want to make sure that you live a certain type of standard lifestyle so people get motivated and they're like, you know what, this guy's doing it how I want to do it. Let me see what this guy's up to. But if you're just in a cave all day at home, you don't even have a car, you take the train, nobody wants to live like you. You know what I mean? People want to live successfully. So you have to demonstrate they live successfully. Not that you live like an average Joe, because nobody wants to be an average Joe. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a niche for that. But I don't want that niche. I want the people that actually want to be very hyper successful, because those are the guys that will put in the work every single day in order to get to that point and make the least amount of excuses.
What would you say for someone watching this right now who's just starting the entrepreneurship journey? What's the biggest traits to have to make sure you're successful?
The first thing is going to be your word, man. Like, I'm so big on my word. Like, if I tell you, like, I literally, like, if I'm saying I'm streaking the Super Bowl, bro, I'm doing it. Like, I'm sorry, it's going down. You know, if I say I'm going to be at a meeting at a certain time, I'm going to be at that meeting. So the first thing is going to be your word, whether that's with your team, your vendors, employees, marketing, anything. You have to have really good word with everybody just so you can build that confidence, and then they respect you, because that respect is everything. And then the second thing for entrepreneurship is going to be creativity. You got to definitely think outside the box. And when you think outside the box, that brings room for innovation and competition. So let's say right now we were to be doing this podcast in a moving Rolls Royce. That's innovation. You got me like, holy shit, this guy's onto something new. So you got to like just always be constantly rethinking the wheel. And then the third I would say is just pressure, because you're going to go through so much shit that nobody's going to be able to, you know, give you that tap in the back and be like, yeah, you're good. You know, you're almost done through it. Like, you have to give yourself that tap in the back and be able to handle that pressure, because it's you versus you, nobody else.
No, sweet. I like that, bro. I like that. And the last question I'm going to ask you is this, right? So there was that point in life where you had come out of college, your parents may have been looking at you thinking, okay, what's going on? Mother giving us full support, but still maybe questioning what's going on, all that sort of stuff. As it stands right now, and the success that you've built and everything, and I don't know how much you want to get into this because it may be touchy, as you literally said, you're rekindling stuff with your father. What do you think your parents would say to you about all the success that you've created?
So, like, what do my parents think about the success right now?
Yeah.
So, I'm like definitely the first person in my whole entire family has ever seen this type of success, and they almost don't believe it. And they're, at the beginning, probably like a year and a half ago, they were like, happy about it. But now it's at the point where they're kind of scared because it's like, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, how big is this gonna get? Is he doing something wrong? Is he, managing the money correctly? So now they're at the point where they don't even like understand what's going on because there's just so much money, it's so much shit going on. And I just try and just show them the simplicity of it. It's like, if you have a certain amount of account, I make X amount of percentage. It just equals to this amount of money. It's just how it works. So now they're at the point where they're just like letting me do my thing. They're not even like consulting. They're not doing anything. They're like, you got to that point by yourself. You trust what you do. Just keep on going.
Yeah, I like that, bro. I like that. Well, do you know what, bro? Firstly, let me just say, I feel like doing a podcast with an American is so much more lit just because the accent just makes it sound like a proper podcast. How you see it on Joe Rogan on TikTok clips, it's like, yeah, that's it. We're there now. Do you know what I mean?
And I love your guys' accent too. It's pretty cool.
Oh, we got boring accent, bro. I'm going to introduce you to someone from Birmingham. Accent's sick.
Yeah?
Yeah, lit.
What's Birmingham? What is that?
We'll show you on TikTok.
Okay,
after,
I don't know what that is.
You will not understand it at all.
Okay.
But no, bro, look, you're in Dubai right now. This is pretty much like my second home, so it's the least I can do is show you around the city, especially being your first time here.
For sure.
And I'm planning to do a trip to the States in November. They've got SEMA in Vegas as well in November, which I want to go to that. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely going to come to Miami as well. So show me around, bro. Show me your entrepreneur friends. Get as many of them on CEOCAST and stuff like that.
Bro,
it should be lit,
you
bro.
come to Miami, I got you.
I want to see the cars, bro.
Oh, dude, I have plenty. I'll give you one of my cars, bro. They're there, just chilling.
I'm gonna hold you to that one, I'm gonna put this clip on TikTok right now.
Trust me, I'm at the point where I have a car guy where I just call him, I'm like, yo, just turn him on. Because if not, the battery dies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, just move them around. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's too many cars at this point.
I've seen you drift a little bit as well in the Porsche. I saw that video with Jordan Welch, so I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Let's see what Alex
so I'm a semi-pro drifter. I had a full professional build of a car.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go get the license or none of that stuff. But I am a semi-pro drifter.
Okay, sick. So you actually can proper drift.
Yeah, I'm that guy, bro.
You know, when you come to London next, I'm gonna put you in the passenger seat with one of my mates, 10 out of 10 driver. And we're gonna scare the shit out of you.
Well, the right-hand driver already sketches me the shit out.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's just so weird.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. Well, Alex, look, if people want to find you on socials, where can they do so?
Just search up FX Alex G, or just literally go on Google and search up who streaked the Super Bowl 2024, and you'll see.
Great market, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great market for yourself.
100%.
No, I appreciate you coming on, bro. And it's been great to have you on, man.
Thank you,
Great
bro.
conversation.
Pleasure, bro. It was a pleasure. Thank you guys.
If you want to catch up, first of all, if you're watching this from the States and you've never seen CEOCAST before, make sure you subscribe because we're coming there soon. We're going to come to your city. And for all the returning viewers, make sure you tune in to the episode next Sunday with a special guest, another one. Catch you lot on the next episode of CEOCAST. Peace.
See you guys. Take care.